express x squared minus 3 divided by x minus 1 into x squared plus 1 in partial fraction. Looking at this expression, you're going to see that the denominator of this expression have x squared as one of these multiple. And as the formula applies, anytime we have expression in partial fraction where the denominator for x have a square, then of course we are going to have three variable or constant which we need to look for the values. In this case, we are going to have a, b, and c as the constant which we need to look for the various values of this constant. But if there were no value here where the x is a square, then we could have had just two of the constant a and b for us to look for those values to put it now in expression as partial fraction. So to begin with, I'm going to try to see how I can express this in a partial fraction way and start to look for the various values of the constant. So this is going to be the same as x squared minus 3 divided by x minus 1 into x squared plus 1 will be expressed as, so in this case, since we have a square at the bottom as the denominator, we are going to say a over the first set here, which is x minus 1, plus, since the second set here is a square, we are going to say bx plus c divided by x squared plus 1. So this is the simple expression here. So we have three different constants here, a, b, and c, and we need to look for the values of a, b, and c. But first, we need to express these in a simple form by looking for the LCM of these two denominators, which is just by expressing them here, x minus 1, x squared plus 1. Then this x minus 1 is going to take off this x minus 1. We are going to be left with x squared plus 1. Therefore, we are going to say a into x squared plus 1. So a into x squared plus 1. This plus here, we represent it here. Then this x squared plus 1 will take off this x squared plus 1. We are going to be left with x minus 1. So x minus 1 times bx plus c. So we are going to say bx plus c into x minus 1. Now, in this case, it can still be represented as you can see here, that is x squared minus 3 divided by x minus 1 into x squared plus 1 is the same as a into x squared plus 1 plus bx plus c into x minus 1 all over x minus 1 into x squared plus 1. This is the same. And now, by looking at this expression, you're going to see that the denominator here and this one are the same. If they are the same, then the numerator must also be the same. And the fact that they are the same, we are therefore going to say that x squared minus 3 must be the same as a into x squared plus 1 plus bx plus c into x minus 1. Now, of course, looking at this constant, a, b, and c, we need to make sure that we look for the various values here. And to look at this value, we must equate one of the expression to leave either b and c to be 0 to look for the value of a in this case, or to make sure that b or a is 0 and we look for the values c. So here looking at this expression, you're going to see that at this area, we have to let certain value of x to be a given value so that we can see how we can close up b and c to get the value of a. If we set, or if we say that let the value of x be equal to 1, then 1 minus 1 is going to be 0, and bx plus c multiplied by 0 will give us all of these as 0. Then it will be very easy for us to get the value of a, which in this case, we are going to try that. Let the value of x be equal to 1. So we are going to state that let the value of x be equal to 1. If the value of x is 1, then we are going to have 1 square here, which is 1. 1 minus 3 is going to be minus 2. So we are going to have minus 2 will be the same as, if we have 1 minus 1, this will be 0. 0 times bx plus c, all of these will be 0. And we are going to be left only with this, which 1 square is 1 plus 1 is going to give us 2. 2 times a is going to give us 2a. So it has brought to that expression. So to get the value of a, we need to divide both sides by 2. You can see 2 here 1, 2 here 1 is going to be minus 1. Now, since we already have the value of a, it is time for us to get the value of b or c. And since this is combined here, by just looking at this expression, if we evaluate the value of x as 0, that is, if we say let the value of x be 0, you're going to see that b will just eliminate itself because b times 0 will give us 0. And therefore, we can easily have the value of c. So we are going to say that let the value of x be equal to 0 so that we can easily eliminate b. So this time, we are going to say that let x be equal to 0. So that if we come here on this expression, x squared, that is 0 squared, will give us 0. 0 minus 3, we are going to have minus 3 here. Will be the same as, if we have this, 0 times b is 0. So we just have c here. And if we put 0 here, 0 minus 1 is minus 1. So this is going to be the same like, we already have the value of a. And the value of a is minus 1. So we are going to say minus 1 here. Minus 1 into, we have x. We have already said that let x be equal to 0. So 0 squared is going to give us 0. 0 plus 1 is going to give us 1. Plus. So you can see that b into x, which is 0, give us 0 here. Plus c times, we have 0 minus 1 is going to give us minus 1. So we are going to have minus 3 is the same as minus 1 times 1 is minus 1 minus c, because minus 1 times c is going to give us minus c. And we are going to take this and across this side so that minus 3, when it crosses, becomes plus 1. Minus 3 plus 1 is going to give us minus 2 is going to be the same like we have now minus c. And to have the value of c, we have to eliminate the minus sign and also divide by minus here. So minus will take off this, and our value of c is going to be 2. And now, since we already have the value of c and that of a, it will be very easy for us to have the value of b. Now we are going to now fit in the expression to just get the value of b. In this case, we are going to give a certain value of x. At this level, you can now give any value for x to find the value of b. In this case, it is always advisable to use a smaller value, like 2, which is good. So we are going to use 2. In this case, let's start from this expression here. X squared, let's say x, let x now be equal to 2. Let x be equal to 2. In this case, in the x square here, 2 square is going to give us 4. 4 minus 3 is going to give us 1. So we have 1. So we have 1. And if x is equal to 2, you can see that by substituting 2 in this expression, and if we substitute the value of 2 for x, you're going to see here that based on this expression, 2 square, which is 4 minus 3, is going to be equal to 1. So we have 1 here equal to, and here we already know the value of a, which the value of a which we have looked for is minus 1, as you can see here. And we also know the value of c here as 2. So we just need to feed in all the various values. So a, which is minus 1, into 2 square is going to be 4. 4 plus 1 is going to be 5. Plus, we have bx. So the x is 2. So 2 times b is going to give us 2b. Plus, we already know the value. We already know the value of c, which here, the value of c we already know, which is 2. So we are going to say plus 2 based on this expression. Then, of course, we need to multiply based on this x minus 1. That is 2 minus 1, which is 1. So we have 1 here. So now we have this expression after which we insert every value. So we have this. We need now to express this. So we have 1 here will be equal to minus 5, as you can see here. So 1 times all of these is still going to give us 2b plus 2. That is plus 2b plus 2. So if we look at this expression, we can simplify this. Minus 5 plus 2 is minus 3. So if we take the minus 3 and cross over this side, it becomes plus 3. So plus 3 plus 1 is going to give us 4. So we have 4 will be equal to 2b. And to get the value of b, we need to divide by 2. And therefore, b will be equal to 2. And now to fit in this expression in partial fraction form, we are therefore going to say that x squared minus 3 divided by x minus 1 into x squared plus 1 is the same as a, which we already know the value of a as minus 1. So anywhere we are going to see a here as the expression. Now minus 1 into x squared plus 1 plus b, we already know b is 2. 2x plus c into x minus 1 divided by x minus 1 to x squared plus 1. And we already know the value of c here as well. So we're also going to represent c here, which is the value of c is 2. So by representing this in partial fraction form, we'll replace all the value of a, b, and c based on a minus 1, b as 2, and c as 2. So you want to make sure that you go ahead to see how you can like and subscribe so as to receive update notification when we release new expressions as well as solving those expressions in the partial fraction format. So make sure to like and subscribe for new updates for this tutorial. Bye bye for now and see you again in the next upload.